Hi, I'm Hannah Cooper, and I'm checking in for a 1 p.m. agent pitch session.
Hannah, it's incredible to finally meet. I'm Hope, the coordinator for the Santa Barbara Writers Conference. I'm so glad you made it, and within 20 minutes to spare.
It was a nail biter. I left Baltimore at 7 a.m. this morning, landed in Dallas at 9:30, arrived in Santa Barbara at 11:35, and I just got to the hotel 5 minutes ago.
Your journey sounds like something from a movie. I applaud your adventurous spirit. Take a seat. The first agent will be with you soon.
Thank you so much.
As you requested, I have you scheduled back-to-back to pitch your book to all 5 of our agents in attendance at the conference. You will have 5 minutes with each of them, so make that time count. But don't be nervous. Just be your charming self. Tell them your story.
That is wonderful advice. I really appreciate it, Hope.
Hannah Cooper.
Your first agent is ready for you. Good luck.
Thank you again. Hi, I'm Hannah Cooper. It's very nice to meet you.
Hi, Hannah. I'm Tony Cohen. Tell me what you've got.
When Hannah's 15-year marriage comes to a shocking end, an invitation to attend a burn leads her down an unexpected path to healing. In Search of Her Tribe, How Hannah Found Herself at Burning Man combines literary storytelling techniques with traditional journalism. Drawing inspiration from the electric Kool-Aid acid test, Eat, Pray, Love, and The Alchemist, this book is the first in a series.
It's a memoir?
It's creative nonfiction.
Sounds like a memoir to me. Are you Hannah? Is this story about you?
Yes, this is my story, but the book is a creative effort which combines literary storytelling techniques with traditional journalism. Names have been changed, some dialogue is word for word and others is created, some characters and incidents have melded, but the events are true. And every attempt was made to accurately depict my firsthand account with this unique counterculture.
Sounds like a memoir.
It's creative nonfiction.
How many words is it?
I'm really not sure. I want to say off the top of my head maybe 37,000.
You don't know your word count?
I am really not certain.
You need to be certain, and 37,000 words is not a book. That's a short story. You should be writing 60,000 or 70,000 words, and then you'll have a book.
I'm really not certain. Maybe it is closer to 50,000.
That's still not long enough. Look, I just took on a couple clients with memoirs, and I'm not looking to take on any others anytime soon.
It's not a memoir. It's creative nonfiction.
Is it fiction or is it a memoir?
It's creative nonfiction.
Sounds like a memoir. Best of luck, Hannah.
Wait. I have a pen for you. I just started a website with a blog, and this pen has a link to the platform.
A blog? I'm not going to read your blog, but I'll take the pen. What's the text under the website link?
Oh, that's my brand quote, my motto, my catchphrase. It's never too late to be what you might have been.
Oh, the George Eliot quote? I admire your chutzpah. Good luck to you, Hannah.
Thank you for your time, Tony. Hi, I'm Hannah Cooper. I'm supposed to be the 125 for Allie? Is Allie here?
Hannah, you're my 125.
Oh, it's very nice to meet you.
Hello, Hannah. What do you have for me today?
I have a work of fiction that is based on true events. It is approximately 50,000 words.
All right, let's hear your pitch.
When Hannah's 15-year marriage comes to a shocking end, an invitation to attend a burn leads her down an unexpected path to healing. In Search of Her Tribe, How Hannah Found Herself at Burning Man combines literary storytelling techniques with traditional journalism. Drawing inspiration from the electric Kool-Aid acid test, Eat, Pray, Love, and The Alchemist, this book is the first in a series.
Interesting. There's definitely a readership for women's stories like this, but you need a new comp choices. All these books you mentioned in your pitch are out of date. They're also bestsellers. It is a little bit ambitious to be putting your first book in a category with some of these titles.
Thank you for that advice. I really appreciate it. But you may change your mind when you read my story.
Okay, I'll bite. What makes your story different than women's literature?
For a period of 7 years, I was a first-hand participant in the Burning Man culture, attending local burns on the East Coast, as well as burner-sponsored events in the Washington, D.C. area. I also traveled to Black Rock City, Nevada 2 years in a row for the Big Burn. Along the way, I met an eclectic cast of characters that seemed like they walked straight off the set of a Tarantino film. The unpredictable nature of my burner friends, along with the stifling desert heat, created the perfect storm for catharsis. Media coverage of Burning Man has long been criticized by festival participants for lacking accuracy and depth. But my book provides a first-hand account that is authentic and thought-provoking.
Okay, tell me about this cast of characters.
There is the retired astronaut who now hosts peyote ceremonies, the sports photojournalist who crafts art installations on the weekend, the librarian who brings her traveling hookah lounge to burns, the guitar-playing massage therapist, legendary for his deep tissue work, and the lawyer and social activist by day who transforms into a mystical and magical fire spinner by night. These burner friends provide a shoulder for Hannah to cry on, and even more importantly, practical help as she learns how to be independent for the first time in her life. Slug teaches her about budgeting and credit scores. Rainbow patches the holes on her front steps. And Sunshine lends Hannah his legal books and becomes her partner and adventure buddy as Hannah navigates this whole new world. Hannah loses her husband, but she learns she is never truly alone.
You have a good story, but I'm gonna have to pass.
Thank you for your time. Hi, I'm Hannah Cooper. Thank you so much for meeting with me today.
Hi, Hannah. I really enjoyed reading your query and your writing sample. I'd love to hear more about your book.
Thank you. If you've already read my query, what more would you like to know?
In a few words, describe the journey that Hannah's character takes. Who is she in the beginning of the book and who is she at the end? I'm always looking for transformation with the writers I represent.
In the beginning of the book, Hannah is overwhelmed by sadness, fear, and responsibility. She is a shell of herself, battling anxieties, insecurities, and self-doubt. When her 15-year marriage comes to a shocking end, she is ripped from a world of comfort and security and forced down a new path of self-discovery. By the end, she is resilient, strong, independent, and capable.
That's beautiful. Is this your story?
Yes, but it is not a memoir. It is a work of fiction based on true events.
It sounds like creative nonfiction to me.
Yes, to me too.
I see what you just described when I look at you. I see Hannah's strength, beauty, and resilience in you.
That's incredible. That means so much to me.
I would love to read more. Here's my card. Send me the first couple chapters.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. Hi, I'm Hannah Cooper. Thank you so much for meeting with me today.
I'm Delia. Nice to meet you. I'm impressed by your writing. This page one really drew me in and made me want to read more. I have some friends who go to Burning Man, but I've always been intimidated to travel there myself. Tell me more about your journey.
Thank you, Delia. That will be my pleasure. It had only been a few weeks since my new reality had taken hold. My husband of 15 years had left me for another woman, leaving me with full financial responsibility of our children and maintenance of our rural country home on 4 acres. I had never lived on my own before, having moved from my parents' home to his apartment years prior. I had not paid bills, mowed the lawn, taken out the trash, unclogged a sink, assembled furniture, checked my tire's air pressure, cleaned the gutters, just to name a few of the never-ending list of tasks that I did not know how to do. Because our little log home sat in the middle of the woods, it was a constant battle of the elements, from keeping our long, rocky, winding driveway free of snow to keeping the wildlife outside. And at times, it felt like the elements were winning, Once a snake greeted me in the living room surrounded by hissing cats. Another time, a snake slithered up my bathroom sink drain. Spiders, the size of hands, clung to my basement walls, and a raccoon family camped on my front porch. Facing this future alone felt impossible until a former student, Dragon, threw me a lifeline. As we swapped stories at my backyard bonfire, she seemed to have the answer.
Go to a burn. It will change your life.
A burn? What is a burn?
It's home.
During my marriage, I never dreamt I would one day make a solo trek to the hot Nevada desert. My husband had nicknamed me his hothouse flower because of my sensitivity to both heat and cold. However, Dragon persisted.
Go to a burn. It will change your life.
Change my life? How?
Tell them your story. They will want to hear.
Why would strangers be interested in my drama?
Go to a burn and you'll find out.
I spent the entire summer prepping and packing for Burning Man. Headlamp? Check. Bicycle lights? Check. Extra batteries? Check. Heart-shaped pasties? Check. However, shortly after my arrival to Black Rock City, I realized I had left my common sense behind. Burning Man is huge. How big is this festival?
Black Rock City spans about 7 miles, and you need to be careful calling it a festival. Them's are fighting words in some food camps.
7 miles? Where are the art installations?
They're just a couple miles from camp, deep Playa.
A couple miles away? Now I understood why all the photos I had seen of Burning Man included crowds of bicycles and art cars. I could never begin to do or see everything at Burning Man by foot, but a bicycle could give me a fighting chance. I packed day-glow bike lights, but I have no idea how to ride a bike.
Seriously? How do you not know how to ride a bike?
There weren't sidewalks or shoulders in the country woods where I grew up, Sunshine. What have I gotten myself into?
Well, where better to learn how to ride a bike than Burning Man?
Sunshine, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but this seems like the worst possible place.
Everything is perspective. Manifest the reality that you want.
No time like the present. It was terrifying. But then, all of a sudden, I had it. I was in the flow. I was riding a bike. And then I saw her. A sequin burner, her long brown hair flying in the wind. She reached out to say hello and hand me a note, folded several times origami-like. I almost collided as I grabbed the note, pedaling a few more paces before landing in a heap on the ground. Burning Man is definitely not the best place to learn how to ride a bike. You are beautiful. Day after day, I struggled, sometimes seeming to get it down, only to take a spill my next time out. My goal was to ride my bike to Playa on burn night to see the burning of the man. It would be Saturday night, my last night there. Saturday came fast, and after the heat broke, night followed. This was it. Despite the darkness and the noise, I maintained my calm and focus and steadied myself on the bike and rode. It felt like magic as I weaved through the crowds with ease. After hours enjoying the playa, I rode back to my camp in Home Rule Village, where I spent the rest of the night relaxing on the Cloud 9 Sky Lounge, a chill space on the 4th story of the 5-story tower that my campmates had built the week before. Shortly before sunrise, I fell asleep. It was the best sleep I had the entire time I was on the playa. But the next morning, I awoke with a start. What time is it? How long have I been sleeping? Is it 10 a.m.? 11 a.m.? My bus leaves the Reno airport at 2 p.m. I have to get home early so I can be there for my children's first day at their new school. Sunshine! Does anyone know the time? Anyone?
It's 11:15.
It's 11:15. Is that right? Sunshine, is it 11:15?
12:15. It's 1:15.
I think it's 1:15.
What? 1:15? What? I have to be at the bus depot by 1:30. I'm not even packed. I'll never make it.
Hannah, don't panic.
What?
I'll pack yourself.
What?
It's good.
What?
Just grab your wallet, your phone, take the bike. I'll guide you there on my one-wheel.
I raced back to my tent before grabbing my essentials and jumping on my bike and then racing to the depot with Sunshine one-wheeling behind me. I maintained my balance and my composure and pulled into the bus depot just as the clock struck 1:25.
See, I knew we could do it. You even had 5 minutes to spare. Hand me your bike. I'll bring it back to camp.
I boarded the air-conditioned bus. I rested my head against the window and I closed my eyes. What would have happened if I had not learned how to ride the bike just the night before? I never would have made it to the bus depot in time. I would have missed my plane ride back home and my children's first day at their new school. My determination to ride my bike on burn night paid off far more than I could have ever imagined. It had been so tempting to wallow in frustration, regret, and self-doubt, until I realized the one truth I had been searching for all this time. The only way out is through.
I can't wait to read the rest. Please take my card and send me a couple of chapters when you're ready for a presentation.
Thank you so much. Hi, I'm Hannah Cooper, and I am blessed to be here today. It's so great to meet you.
Hi, Hannah. I'm Josiah. I've already read your query and your writing sample, and I'm very interested in your story.
Really? I mean, that's terrific. Well, what more can I tell you now?
I've read many accounts of the burning of the man, so I want to hear about the temple burn.
I am so glad that you asked. Far different in tone than the celebratory party atmosphere that accompanies the burning of the man, the temple burn is a somber, cathartic experience. Throughout the week of Burning Man, people seek the temple, with prayer and to mourn, leaving behind photos, notes, artwork, memories of loved ones. I missed the temple burn in 2018 so I could be at my children's new school. But although I've had a great adventure, I felt like I had missed out on the soul of the event. So I returned in 2019 on a very different mission. I returned seeking inner peace. I knew I needed to let go, but of what was still taking shape. I wondered what I might leave behind at the temple. And I would find my answer just a few days before I would make the trip. It was folded in half, a nondescript piece of typing paper. Nothing made it stand out, but I recognized it instantly. It was the last note I would write my husband when I thought our marriage still had hope. When I believed him, when he said that things could be better if I tried. If I worked less and was home more. If I was less anxious, more relaxed. If I hung out with his friends, spent less time on my phone. I was ready to do anything to save my marriage. And I hoped the letter would show him that. I began with a quote from his favorite poet, and then I finished with his pet name for me, written in cursive with a flourish at the end. In between, I poured my heart onto the page, making myself more vulnerable than I had ever been, acknowledging that my anxieties and insecurities had impacted our relationship, and resolving to change. But it would be too late. Only days after handing him the letter, I would learn the truth.
I'm in love with another woman, and I want a divorce.
I'll do anything to keep our family together. Do you want an open marriage?
I don't want to be married to you.
But I can change.
I don't think you are capable of change.
In that instant, everything I knew to be true was gone. My present, my future. And then he twisted the knife in deeper, robbing me of my memories. But I thought we were soulmates.
I had strong connections with all of my girlfriends. You weren't special.
What about all the good times? All the holidays, birthdays, vacations, Grateful Dead shows. So many special times we've shared together.
I've been going through the motions for years.
I couldn't eat and I could barely sleep. I felt so foolish for bearing my soul to him in that letter, opening up more than I ever had, sharing my innermost thoughts. So on impulse, I asked for the letter back, not to see it again for 3 more years. When I would find it just a few weeks before I would make the trip to Burning Man, my purpose became crystal clear. I would take that letter to the temple, and I would watch it burn. When I went to Burning Man in 2018, I was hoping to have some fun. But I returned to Black Rock City on a mission. The day before the temple would burn, I made the long trek to Deep Playa with sunshine.
What do you think of the temple, Anne?
It's so beautiful. These tributes are so touching. Look at this one, from a son to his father. And look at this photo tribute to a burner's dog. All around me were signs to let go. And yet the letter stayed firmly inside my pocket. I had not seen it for more than 3 years, but I had felt safe with the knowledge that the letter was out there somewhere. Could I now leave those words behind? Could I let it go?
You could take a picture of the letter if you can't let it go.
Transferring the medium from print to digital feels like cheating, Sunshine. There are no shortcuts to the healing process.
How about a compromise? I'll film you talking about your journey here and take a few photos of you in the temple to remember this day.
Deal. Then Sunday came, the night the temple would burn. In the previous 2 nights, I had only had an hour's sleep combined. When Sunday morning came, the intense heat knocked me off my feet, and I could barely stand, much less bike or ride to the site of the temple. So I settled into the coolest space I could find, a hammock on the 3rd story of Home Rule Village's tower.
Are you okay, Hannah? I have a cherry freeze pop for you. Take a sip of water.
Thank you, Sunshine. I closed my eyes and willed for the sun to go down and the heat to break. Then I joined my campmates for dinner, got on my bike, and rode. As I raced towards the burning temple, Sunshine captured the moment on video while one-wheeling behind me. We stopped, and he photographed me smiling broadly on my bike. A total transformation from just hours earlier when I barely had the strength to stand. I was proud of my rally. When we got there, the fire had been lit, and the crowd was somber. I watched the flames consume the temple, and I thought about my past and told myself to let go. I thought about my marriage and my husband's friendship. I thought about the letter, going over those words one last time. This was it. This was my chance to finally let go. To let go. Not just of my marriage, but of the heartbreak I felt the day I wrote that letter. The disappointment in myself for being the person I had been for so long, consumed by inner demons I battled long before knowing my husband. The insecurities and anxieties that left me feeling less than, not enough, never enough, holding on, just barely hanging on, waiting to be singled out, rejected, abandoned, alone. I had grown used to these feelings in my childhood, when my outspokenness and eccentricities made me an easy target for my peers. But my marriage provided me with comfort, like a warm down blanket, cozy and reliable, always there at the end of the day, waiting. Until the day that blanket was ripped off and I was left feeling vulnerable and exposed. Confronted with past versions of myself I thought I had laid to rest, and now faced with a plethora of choices when before my path had been so clear. As much as I missed my husband's friendship and the future I had planned with him, I could let go and imagine a different path. I could forgive him. But could I forgive myself? Could I let go of the disappointment in myself that I carried like a boulder on my shoulders? I could have done better, been more loving, attentive. I thought I would have a lifetime to make up for these years when I was consumed by work, pregnancy, and breastfeeding. Had I known what was coming next, I would have done better. My marriage never got a second chance, but I had. I had been gifted an Act 2, ready to be written from scratch. It was time to start page 1 of the next story I would tell. And in the days following Burning Man, I could feel a shift, a lightness take hold, one that kept me centered when I learned that the photos and videos captured before, during, and after the burn would be just a memory. I had bought a new phone prior to Burning Man just to capture these experiences. But in a freak stroke of misfortune, my phone malfunctioned and lost all of its data. But it wasn't just the loss of the captured memories that would emphasize the need to let go. I would soon learn that my relationship with Sunshine, my adventure buddy, my best friend in the burner community, my partner these past 2 years, that relationship was ending too.
Hannah, I'm sorry. I really need to concentrate on my career right now. I took a month off Burning Man. I've gotten so far behind in my work.
But I thought you loved me.
I do love you. If we were meant to be together, we will. But I feel like an astronaut who needs to focus on a mission right now.
But astronauts have girlfriends too. My mission at the temple had been to let go, and the universe wasn't holding back. So before I could unpack my Burning Man bin, I had to let go again. Not of my past this time, but of my present and my future. Once so uncertain, now uncertain again. But in the midst of all this loss, one constant remained. One that was growing stronger and stronger each day. One that held the key to the inner peace for which I so longed. And that constant was me.
Thank you so much for sharing. I would love to read more of your book. Do you have my card?
Mom,
Betsy?
Mom, I'm locked out of the room. Do you have the key?
Betsy, you're dripping water all over the floor. Did you just get out of the hot tub? Where's your towel? I'm so sorry, Josiah.
No worries. I have kids here myself.
Betsy, I'll just be a few more minutes. Love you.
Love you, Mom.
I'm so sorry again, Josiah.
Don't be sorry. You're a mom. This is your story. But I do have one more question.
Anything.
Throughout your book, Hannah is in search of her tribe. Does she find it? Does the Burning Man community become her chosen family?
Yes and no. While she finds love and friendship with her burner friends, in her search for acceptance, she realizes that home is where the heart is. While her friends provide a source of unwavering support, ultimately peace is an inside job.
That's beautiful, Hannah. We are all just walking each other home. Our time is up, but I would love to represent you. Take my card and send me the first 40 pages, and we can talk more. Do you have a card?
Thank you so much, Josiah. I don't, but here's my pen.
It's never too late to be what you might have been.
That's right. This is my second act, and I'm just getting started. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. And And for those who came in late, I had volunteers in the audience because with Burning Man, participation is just a key ingredient. So I wanted some of the audience to kind of get a feel for that. So if my audience volunteer, oh yes, yeah, this is yours to keep. And I have extra pens. If I can get a quick cast photo, if you were actually in the show with me, and just bring your script up here and just stand right next to the bicycle.